Well, welcome to another episode of Insurance Gone Wild. I am your host, Dennis Settlemeyer, and once again, my lovely co-host,
Stephanie Lynchoni.
Lynchoni.
I always move my foot when I speak for the first time.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. I think it's I'm nervous. I don't know why. And then after I say my name,
into it?
Yeah. Well, I can't with you right now. I just went to a pre-recording conversation and I.
Oh, that's
can't.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
but
true.
anyway, yeah. But it's just my and then I'm in it.
Yeah.
In it to win it. Now I'm ready. Now I don't need to foot move.
It's been a long week.
Yes.
Well, we had decided that we were going to talk about,
It's been a long week.
Yes, it has. We had talked about previously about insurance for Santa Claus, which was kind of fun. We actually had some additional hits on that one.
Oh, love that.
And but it was kind of fun. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the insurance that they may have needed for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I know everybody was sitting around thinking about that.
Oh, 100%. I think that was really the pressing matter.
That's right.
Not who was going to win, but man, I wonder what coverages they need.
Yeah. I mean, really, that was more interesting than
well, that is actually
everything else.
Very
because
true.
Game, I didn't watch a lot of football this past season, but I watched a little bit of the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship, and I'm watching those four teams, and I'm like, I don't see how anybody can beat the Seahawks if they've been anywhere near that good all year. And I remember telling my assistant, Sam, I said, I'm not saying New England's not going to do okay, but I just don't see how they're going to beat the Seahawks. And I didn't have a dog in the hunt.
Right.
But we did, they did end up winning. It was not a real exciting game for what part that I watched. It was a little
so
slow.
I truly think us talking about insurance would have been more exciting
possibly
than the game.
Possibly. Yeah. Very, very possibly.
And that's a low bar. That's a really low bar.
It's very low.
So anyway, but yes, so we'll talk about, and then we'll go into different scenarios. Like what if this happens and what if this happens? How would that be covered?
I tell you what, and when you get into something that big, because sometimes people will, just in conversations, they'll ask me about things like this, and they're just out of curiosity. They don't ever plan on doing anything like it, but just out of curiosity, well, what really goes into insuring something like that, an event like that? And the answer is a lot. A lot. I will tell you that type of event is not something that we can handle. It's just way too big. The paperwork on it alone, you have to have an entire staff of folks that are designated just to that. You got people that are involved with the Super Bowl. You've got people that are involved with the city that's hosting the Super Bowl, the venue that's hosting the Super Bowl, the insurance company or companies. There is just a lot going on.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. It's on topic.
Okay.
But it's a tangent.
Okay.
Because this is our life.
Yes.
Do you remember when we had the NFL football experience come to Dallas? It was 2011 because we had our big ice storm. And Jerry's World, the new AT&T Stadium, it was really new. I think it was the first or second year that it was even open, potentially. But do you remember that? And then they had ice on on the roof of the stadium, and the sheets of ice just started coming down on people walking in.
I do remember that, yes.
So my question is, first of all, when you have if you have a restaurant, it's basically the same. Like a venue is going to have insurance. Like Jerry Jones has insurance on this stadium, right? Mm-hmm. That's totally fine. And we understand that there are going to be thousands and tens of thousands of people at the place at any given time and blah, 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 for whether it be concerts or whether it be football or whatever the case. But when you have something that is elevated to that caliber, where it's here's this massive, the NFL experience or the Super Bowl being hosted, do you have to have different insurance? if you are the venue, or is it just like, well, yeah, no, our blanket policy is going to cover all of that because we've prepared for that. Like we knew we were hosting.
It depends, right?
I love that.
Isn't that the
But you know what I'm
correct
saying
answer?
though? Like, would that be?
Yeah, I think and I'm just thinking out loud based on stuff that I have done. The venue has insurance, but the venue is going to tell whoever is putting on the event.
Oh yeah.
They have to have event insurance.
They have to come with their own, but
Correct.
that doesn't even like you can't sign away your liability legally. So even if you say, "Hey, we're not going to be
But you can
liable for anything,"
transfer it
you can just as
through
long
indemnity.
as you're not negligent.
Through indemnity. You could do a waiver of subrogation. You can transfer, but you can't sign it away, but you can transfer it through waiver of subrogation and some other things, primary non-contributory wording, indemnity clauses, things like that. You can transfer it to somebody else. So, but yeah, I know that is a great question. There is so many types of insurance policies and big policies that would go into that. So you're looking at, well, the Super Bowl being said, we got general liability. Mm-hmm. So the venue, what it was hosted at there in Santa Clara? Santa Clara.
So, yeah.
They have their general liability. They may have purchased an event liability just for themselves. The teams or the NFL may negotiate that all of that insurance with the venue and the ownership of the venue and the teams, and then in the NFL may say, okay, you can go out and get it, or we'll get it, we'll pay for it, whatever it is. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and it's all built into contracts, I'm sure, that says, hey, if you host, we will supply this from an insurance perspective. The NFL will.
Right.
Or if you host, you have to supply this from an insurance perspective. But there was general liability somewhere. There could have been multiple general liability policies.
You would hope.
Well,
No,
I'm sure there
I'm
was.
just kidding. I know there were. Yeah.
There probably were multiple general liability policies. There may have been one really large one, probably $100 million per occurrence plus. And then on top of that, there was probably a umbrella or an excess policy that's over and above that in the event. So you've got general liability, you've got property coverage. Property coverage would include the venue. It could include, not just the venue, but everything inside the venue. But it could also include maybe the players' equipment, clothing, different things like that. Anything that they brought could be covered depending on how the contract was negotiated.
Right.
You've got all the vendors that are in there. They're going to make them have insurance and name somebody, probably the venue, as an additional insured.
Right.
You're going to have media liability. You're going to have cyber liability. You're going to probably have terrorism coverage. You're going to have, what's the word I'm trying to think of? There was probably something in there about, active shooter type coverage. And there's probably other ones sort of along that line that I don't miss. It could be one policy that included a bunch of different stuff like that. But you're going to have that. You're going to have workers' comp.
Well, sure.
You're going to have workers' comp, especially in California. You don't have a choice. You have to have it. You're going to somebody had asked, well, what about the entertainment? They're going to have insurance or negotiate that.
So I want to, on the workers' comp, if we were able to have gotten a booth or something out there, we're headquartered in Texas. If we had people I think if you have people from California, then you have to give them workers' comp, right? Is that correct? Mm-hmm. But what if some of our Texas-based employees went out to California for this event? Would we have to have provided workers' comp for that?
Depends on the insurance company. Oh, I've looked into that, and I cannot remember the answer, but I don't remember if it's so many days or. It seems like there is a small window, and I could be completely off on this because
We don't come across it very often.
No, I've looked at so many different states. But it seems like if it's 3 days or less or something along those lines, and you don't necessarily, if you don't have workers' comp because you're out of Texas, that you may not have to worry about getting it. And it may be a time frame.
Okay.
In the back of my mind, somebody that's listening to this in California may go, no, you're completely wrong. You got to get it. Or, I don't know what the answer is. But
okay. That's fair.
Look
at that. I stumped the chump.
You did, which doesn't happen very often.
Does not happen.
No,
you are. You're pretty.
No,
but that's a tough one. I mean, that's a.
But I have looked it up. I just don't remember the answer.
Okay.
Because we had somebody who had employees out there that were going out there, and I had to look it up. I just can't remember what the answer was. I have to look it up again. So, but anyway, going back to the insurance, there are so many different insurance policies, or one huge policy with a lot of coverages on it that is involved with something like that. I mean, it is, and the applications, the paperwork, the information that has to be pulled so they can give them a quote and all those things. I mean, it is a team of people.
But I feel like we'll call that a niche market.
Oh, very
like,
much.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well-oiled operation.
Well, even the people we have to get information from clients or prospects. They don't always have it at their fingertips. It's very difficult to do. Get that information sometimes. And why do I have to have that? When you get that high up, those folks probably have spreadsheets and list of everything. They go, here you go, here you go, here you go. Not always, though. Not always.
No, you would.
But they do have like certified risk managers that are in place to help make sure that stuff's being tracked and kept up with and things like that. So that's a benefit where when you're a small mom and pop, you are the certified risk manager.
Right.
It's
just when you say not always, it just reminded me of one of my clients. It was like 1,500 employees.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would email a couple things, but they didn't have a payroll company. They were using like QuickBooks or spreadsheet or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly what they were doing with that, but their onboarding process was like, here's your packet of papers. Mm-hmm. We'll print everything and we'll give it to you and then fill it out and send it back to us.
Yep.
That's within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. That's still out there. I was in a class a few weeks ago and the guy was talking about, he was the risk manager for a large university. If I told you the name of the university, you know it. But they were going to have a helicopter land. Somebody in the university said, hey, we're going to have helicopter land out here, and we're going to do this, this, and this. I don't remember what it was.
Sure.
Well, they didn't ask him anything about it. And when he found out about it, he started investigating and going, our insurance doesn't cover any of that.
Yeah, because how often does a freaking helicopter land on campus?
But he was able to get it taken care of. But he was talking about the importance of
communication,
risk managers, and communicating with the risk manager what's going on. Hey, it's a great idea. I'm not going to tell you no unless you just can't do it. But we've got to figure out how to make sure you're covered so that you don't end up on the news. Well,
you'll still end up on the news,
yes,
but you won't end up
correct.
Yeah.
But yeah,
filing Chapter 7.
I think that's the thing that I tell people when they ask me about some of these big events. It's a big concert or whatever. It's like, man, there are people that's all they do. Their job is to make sure that information is there to give to the insurance company. The insurance company have people that's all they do is sit there and figure that stuff out. And so they can do quotes fairly quick. Whereas if you send something really large, like the Super Bowl to me, I'm going to look at it and push it back across the table and go, I can't handle this. Or I'm going to make a phone call to one of the really large nationwide agencies that we know.
Is this you asking for someone to give you the Super Bowl opportunity?
Yeah, because they would.
I heard that.
Because the big nationwide companies would pay me a finder's commission for that. So, it'd be worth it.
It would be worth it.
It'd be worth it. I'll give up a pretty significant percentage to get a part of that.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, some things are just astronomical. I can't even imagine what all went into that. I mean, I named off some of the coverages, but
Yeah, but I do have to
Some.
imagine. So, but again, like, is the Super Bowl something that is special, or is this just an everyday thing for the people performers who go to different venues all the time? You know, this is the process. Vendors who go on site for sporting events, like professional sporting, like this is the process. So,
yeah, but that's easier. It's usually only dealing with one. With this, you've got numbers of entities that are involved with contracts.
But they have that
like that.
but I mean, even like baseball games where you have random people come out, not random people, but like they have different people come out and throw the first pitch or sing the national anthem, or if they have a concert after the game, like Texas Rangers not used to always, but they would have a lot of concerts like right after the game on Friday nights or whatever. And they
shoot fireworks.
And they shoot fireworks, but again, like
some of that's built into their current policy. It can be.
But that's like, is it just a normal, just because the Super Bowl is a huge game because it means this is like signifying the champion of the league. Shouldn't air quote, like it really is the champion of the league. So there's no real air quote about it, but does that change the insurance game? Other than it's just more hyped and then you have more potential for, hey, this is a big event. And then for sure, like to me, the bigger risks are the idiots or like the active shooting. Is somebody going to use this opportunity for a terrorist act? Is this going like the guy who I watched the game and I guess I wasn't paying attention because maybe I fell asleep during it. I don't know. But I guess there was a guy who like ran on the field without a shirt. Or something.
Took his shirt off and ran on. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
So like you don't really get that at regular games. Like people don't really care. But at the Super Bowl, you're like, I want to be that guy.
Yeah. I don't know if this is true, but I saw something on the Facebook.
I love it.
I'm on the Facebook a lot.
Indeed. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's true or not because it's hard to tell what's true or not. But it could have been a joke. It could have been real. I don't know. Somebody tell me. But it was talking about the guy. It was talking about the guy that did that ran out. That he had bet all his friends like $1,000 a piece that somebody would probably run out on the field, and then he did it.
Oh, that's awesome!
And I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be funny. Hilarious, right? Yeah. So he made like $100,000, and he had $1,000 fine.
Right.
And that was sort of the meme caption. So,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Way to stack the odds in your favor.
Yeah.
That's just good business.
Yeah, well, there was nothing saying he couldn't. If it's true,
well done, sir. Well done.
But yeah, I mean the security abuse.
Like I imagine the security is.
You get abuse and molestation coverage. You've got
well, thanks for taking a dark turn.
Assault
on that one.
And battery coverage. You've got I can't. There's so many different things that would go into that. It blows my mind to sit there and think. Now, I'm sure that if you do it every day, you're like, we need this.
Yeah.
I got a list here. Let's
so let me
check
ask
them
you
off.
this. So you talked about the assault and battery. Like you get Super Bowl. So the fans can sometimes get just nutso butso out of control. And of course, there's alcohol involved and some other things and whatever. So what happens if you have fans going nuts, right? You've got opposing teams. They're going battle. They start having a fight. Something happens. One of them pulls out a weapon, and then an innocent bystander, also in the stands, ends up actually getting hurt. Who is liable for that? Is the venue liable because they didn't?
They could be, because like if you're at a bar and a bar fight breaks out, your general liability is typically going to exclude that. So you need assault and battery coverage in the event that a fight breaks out like that.
Okay.
It could happen out in the parking lot before they come in or after they come in and they go back out. It could be somebody is, I don't know. It could be a lot of different. It could be innocent bystander, but that's assault and battery, because typically your general liability will exclude that. But you can get it added in with some companies, not every company, but you can get it included as an endorsement.
So,
or you can get a standalone policy.
Okay, so general liability wouldn't cover it if like they didn't, because you have to walk through metal detectors and do all these things. It depends, and insurance sucks, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends.
No, but I'm like, like,
But I would think it would be under assault and battery, something like that. That would be my 2 cents on it.
and then of course it depends on the circumstances and what's going on.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's too many factors, and I mean we would never list them all, even in an
I have the
hour-long
time.
show.
I'm just kidding. I don't.
We wouldn't be able to list them. So, but yeah, that's what I would look for is assault and battery coverage.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got you get these places that are open 24 hours, and you go maybe it's a gym. You get in and out with a key card. Okay.
Okay.
That's their security, and they've got a light there. But what if somebody comes out of the
they
parking
have a
lot
light.
and attacks you?
Okay.
Well, it could be an assault and battery against whatever business you were going into.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like that would
be.
suck.
I have.
That'd be a bad day.
I have
for the,
other
I mean,
examples.
it's a bad day for the
Yeah.
patron as well who just got beaten up.
Correct.
But bad day for the venue if they didn't do anything. Like if it's well lit and blah blah blah, and they do the card, and that's a damn shame. But we also know that lawsuits are not about
Guilt or innocence.
guilt or innocence. Yeah,
They're not about guilt or innocence.
No.
It's about if a lawyer thinks he can get a dollar out of them,
that's it.
you're going to get sued.
Yep.
I've got other things that I could share to show people how to get wealthy just off insurance claims, but I won't do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Because
that.
I don't think the insurance.
I know there are
companies
certain things, certain times I've wanted to say something. I'm like, I'm not trying to give that person the nugget that they've been waiting
Yeah,
for.
no.
Because to normal people, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Nobody would do that. And you're like, but there are people out there, and they're going to hear it, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, get rich quick scheme.
I was reminded of one today that I forgot completely about that. Yeah, you could get rich quick.
Oh, so fast.
Very, very. And there's nothing anybody can do about it because it's all legal.
Yeah. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
We'll tell Paul about it. Maybe Paul will split it with us, Paul.
That was inconclusive. I didn't love that. We have Paul's back, but that's totally fine.
Yeah. But yeah, Super Bowl, big event. Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals, whatever it is. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. The level of security, the level of insurance, the level of everything in these big events, like even a big concert or, a concert venue. I think concerts, like if somebody came to me and said, hey, can you insure a concert at
AT&T?
AT&T or something? Yeah, we probably could do that. But with the Super Bowl, too many people involved, too many organizations involved.
You think?
Yeah, I wouldn't have time to sit and read through all that stuff. I mean, you would have to start months
But
before.
wouldn't a concert have the same thing? Like you've got all these different
No,
vendors
not if that
wanna be a
only
part of
did
it?
just if I was only doing one part of it, like the performer.
Okay.
If I was just doing that, yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
We could collect enough information to get a quote on that. Now, I will tell you on concerts, hip hop artists and rappers are very difficult to get insurance for. Concert liability insurance for.
How come?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, but very, very difficult. We even had one that it was a more of a faith-based type rapper that was going to come in for a week-long faith-based seminar, not seminar, but some
Not
type
conference,
of
but something like that. Yeah, okay.
And we talked to almost everybody that we could figure out who to talk to. Rapper, no. Hip hop, no. They ended up getting insurance through another agent who wrote it through one of the companies that we talked to and said no. So you know what the other agent did.
Just lied, yeah. They're not hip hop.
So they're country.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know. They had to do something because
they wouldn't insure.
they wouldn't insure it.
I mean, it's not like you wouldn't push away business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, they can do it, but I'm going to tell them no. Like,
Yeah.
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 All right.
That's that happened. And that does happen sometimes.
Where the agent fluffs it.
Where the other agent doesn't tell everything.
Yes.
Or they don't ask enough questions to learn everything, and then it can come back and bite them in the butt.
Yeah. I think, and we've talked about this before, where it can be one or the other, right? There can be like willful ignorance. There can be ignorance, like you don't know what you don't know. And then the third one is, nah, you lied. Like you knew, you had no ignorance, but it's pretending ignorance, right? Those are the three: willful, pretending, or just ignorant. Yeah.
And I have some clients and they know who they are, and I'm not going to mention their names, but we laugh about it. They know that I'm not going to play games, and so they tease me about it. Well, so-and-so will write it. Well, let so-and-so write it.
Bye.
Just, we tried to come back to me later after a claim. The price is going to be a lot higher, so what do you want to do? So they tease me about it.
That's funny.
Now, Dennis, I need to ask you a question about insurance, but I don't want you to put on your agent hat. I'm like, well, it's impossible. If you're going to ask me about insurance, I got to put on my agent hat. I don't know what they're getting at. They're like, just tell me my options.
Right.
Well, your option is A, B, or C. And
when you're covered two, you're not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When you're covered two, you're not.
Yeah, 1 out of 2.
We can make it A through Z, but only one of them you're covered.
Right.
So what do you want to do? It goes back to the what ifs. Or, well, what if this happened? What if that? Do you want coverage? You don't want coverage.
Right.
I can't answer that. All we can do is put you in the best position possible to have a good claims experience. So there's too many variables in the world. But anyway, that's it. The Super Bowl, super insurance, super large policies, I'm guessing. Whatever insurance company sold that with no issues, I'm sure they did pretty good. Because that's a one-off, right? It's not like there's a lot of those going on.
But again,
those events,
is it a one-off?
Those big events, they would have to, there would be parts of it that would be completely different than anything else. I would think the security portion for sure. Now, do those venues pack out? Let's say it held 80,000 people. Do they pack out on a semi-regular basis 75, 80, 85,000 people? Yes. So there's going to be a lot of similarities, but just because of what the event is, there's going to be some different things.
There are different things. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would think that there would be some different things.
Okay.
But again, going back, it's stuff that those agents, those companies, they know what they're doing.
Right.
They know what they're doing. So, all right. Well, if you guys have any questions or comments, if we said something wrong,
let us know.
California work comp. I don't know a lot about it. I just know you have to have it or you get fined. But anyway, let us know. Contact at igwpodcast.com or give us a call, 817-753-0093. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.